Hi, my name is Cynthia, and I created a pattern to make a nursing bib. I created this several years ago because my daughter, she has 5 children, and I had made these for her, and she just loved this cover up. It was so nice to go to a restaurant or when company came that you had something really pretty to throw over you while your baby nursed. And I thought I'd start out by teaching you how I made it, and you will be able to get the pattern off of my website. First of all, I purchased 1 3/8 yards of material. I use either flannel or cotton, usually depending what season the baby's born in. I'm making this one for my niece. She's having a baby in June, and so I'm using a pretty cotton. Now for the strap, first of all, I cut a section 5 inches by 26 inches, and that is what I use for my strap. And my strap I have finished here, but I'll show you how I made that. I took the whole length of the strap. This is just a sample for you. And I took that, and first I folded it in half. And I gave that a good pressing. And then I opened it up, and I had a line there in the center where I pressed, and then I brought both sides right into the center there and had the edges meet, and I gave it another good pressing. And then I folded that over again, pressed again, and that created my strap. I then took it to the sewing machine and I sewed a 1/4 inch from each end. I sewed here all the way down, and then I also sewed this side a 1/4 inch all the way down. So as you can see, there's my finished strap. Sewed it here and sewed it on both sides. Okay, we have that done. And then we'll move on to the actual cover up. The next step is for the actual cover up. Now the cover up, I used the whole width of my material, and I cut it to approximately 42 inches in length. What you want to do first is you want to take your material, you want to fold it in exactly in half and find where your center is. And I have marked my center on it. Right here's my center. And then I took my ruler. This is a centering ruler if you've never seen one of these. It has a 0 in the center, and then I can measure out 6 inches, and I'm going to measure out 6 inches on both sides. If you don't have a centering ruler, just put your ruler there. We want to measure out 6 inches. So I have that marked. Also, you need to come to one side, and just so you remember, just put a little mark out here so you leave an opening to turn this inside out, or right side out, I'm sorry. Just so you don't forget and accidentally sew that shut. Right now, I guess I didn't tell you that I do have my material inside out. There's my pretty side. Now you want to take your strap. Make sure you have it nice and straight, that there's no twists or anything in it. And you want to open up this material. And we're going to put that strap inside there. Close this back up. Line everything up. And then I just take that and I center my strap right in between where I have that line marked. And I pin it. Do the other side the same way. And I leave about 1.5 inches of that strap sticking out. Now if you want to adjust that, that's why I have a little extra there, but you can adjust that to any size that you need. And then go ahead and pin this all the way around, because we're going to sew this, except for our opening here which we had left. Okay, we'll take this to the machine get this all wrapped up. I'm sewing my blanket now, and I wanted to show you that I did leave that little opening on one side just so I'd be able to turn it right side out. When I came over the straps, I sewed a little extra stitches on both sides just so that would be good and secure. Now I'm going to finish sewing this side and show you how I turn my corners. I am sewing at a 5/8 inch seam allowance. I remove my pin. Okay, I put my needle down, raise my presser foot, and I turn my fabric diagonal. Put my presser foot down, I take 2 stitches, 1, 2. Raise my presser foot, turn my material back around, and go ahead and finish my seam. Now what that does is that gives you a really nice crisp corner. With them 2 little extra stitches in there, you'd be surprised what a difference that makes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing this. I'll show you how to trim the corners, and then we'll turn it right side out. Now what you can see for the corner is I cut that diagonally, and it is about 1/8 of an inch away from that seam line. And then when you turn that right side out, you'll end up with a really nice crisp corner. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay, now go ahead and turn your blanket entirely right side out. Get everything pressed, and we'll go ahead and see what we can do about a pretty decorative edge. Also, when I press open this and iron it, I wanted to show you that I just kind of lift this up and iron this flat before I turn it right side out. Also on both sides. And then when you do turn it right side out, you'll get them really nice sharp edges there. It just kind of falls right into place. I have my blanket all right side out and ironed, and I'm putting this pretty little decorative stitch on it. Can you see that? As soon as I get this finished, I'll show you what it looks like all done. Here's the cover up. It's all finished. I hope you can see the pretty little decorative stitch on it. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I did some embroidery on it. It says "Baby's Touch, a Mother's Heart." Now when you wear this, you put this around your neck and you blouse this open in front of you, and you'll be able to look in and see the baby. The baby will be able to see you, and the baby gets lots of fresh air that way. And this is just such a lovely gift for someone. Or wouldn't you like one for yourself? Okay, well thanks again for watching, and if you would like to have the pattern, just come on over to my website. I've got it on there, and you'll be able to make one, and the pattern is free. You have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.